So this is a sign to create yourself a calendar, and I just started doing this back April. I think this can help with like shadow working and kind of like overall homework that you do for self reflection. And mine is every month I come up with a theme, and you don't. Every time that the first of the month hit, you don't have to come up with a theme. Usually, I kind of lead into it. So, like for example, April, I was dealing with a lot of other people's energies that triggered me in many ways, and I had to realize that it was really about rational acceptance, that I cannot change other people's actions. I can't change how they reacted to me, how they treated me, because that's who they were. And I noticed that not only they treated me that way, they treated a lot of people around me the exact same way. And this was like family dynamics, friendships, jobs, like just really observing people's behavior, and honestly just coming to a term where I had to accept what I cannot change about someone. Even if you see the potential in someone, you cannot change the way someone is, especially if they don't want to change themselves. So that's what April was about. And then May was about being intentional. About everything that I did was being intentional, especially when it came to me being my authentic self. And I realized that there were times where I wasn't being intentional. I was just reacting out of ego and doing things that I thought that would help bring my authenticity out, but instead it actually hindered my growth. It limited me in many ways. So being very intentional about what I say, how I speak to myself, but also how I react to others. And then June was about intuition and protection. It was really about really trusting my intuition. And June was a heavy ass month for me, and it just ended. But there was a lot of things in the air, and I was feeling very triggered and unsafe, like when it came to my security. And then I had to realize that, yeah, my intuition is my protection. That listening to myself, my inner guidance will point me in the right direction. So being able to truly connect with myself and be able to trust that I know what I'm doing, and that at the end of the day, whatever decision that you made, stay solid on that, 10 toes down at the end of the day, because our intuition does make those hard choices for us. And a lot of those hard choices and those decisions are not necessarily super easy to really accept, because we think that this is not the right decision and maybe it's leading me down the wrong path. But your intuition is calm. Your intuition won't yell at you. Your intuition won't make you feel super comfortable, if that makes sense. Like your ego will make you feel comfortable, like, oh, it's okay, we don't have to go through change, we don't have to do this, because if we do this then that'll happen. No, your ego will overthink, but your intuition, like, y'all will know when there are other negative entities at play. You will know the difference between a negative entity and your higher self, your intuition trying to guide you. Your intuition will never make you feel like shit. Your intuition will never put you in harm's way. Your intuition will never make you want to harm anybody else or even do anything that's morally unacceptable. I'm gonna just say that. So if y'all got any energies that's putting y'all in very compromising situations, that's not your intuition. Your intuition is your protection. Your intuition will protect you from situations, people, and everything. And then you will notice that when you listen to your intuition, that your intuition will really like make things that used to be appealing to you very unappealing at this time. It will get to a point where if you are attracted to the same type of men or women or whoever, it'll get to the point where you don't find those characteristics attractive anymore. You don't find certain family dynamics to be actual healthy. You'll start to realize that this person or this family dynamic or whatever situation you find yourself in does in fact compromise your energy. It makes you feel low vibrational. It makes you feel like, it makes you want to react. It makes you want to react out of ego and fear and sometimes angry and pissed off. And yes, those emotions are healthy to feel, especially depends on the way you are expressing those emotions. But at the end of the day, a lot of people will want to trigger you. They like to see you react. They like to see you pissed off because they feel like they can still get at you, right? So, but when your intuition is protecting you, I'm telling y'all, your intuition will like, there were times where I was supposed to be going somewhere and then something happened to my car, or something happened where I couldn't go nowhere. My intuition is protecting me, because at the end of the day, if you have to go somewhere, you'll get there. You'll get from point A to point B, no problems at all. But when there's something happening, trust me, your intuition is trying to protect you. Whether that's your mental peace, that's your physical, like anything, your intuition will move other things out of the way in order for you to be protected. Okay. And I spent a lot on June because June just ended. Like, now that excuse me, and I'm sorry that this camera is moving a lot because I'm shaking. I'm sitting in a very kind of uncomfortable position because I really wasn't going to record this, but I was like, damn, I think I need to like do this, right? Because I'm just now realizing to myself, damn, each and every month I have a theme that I came up with. And so I think this is not only helpful for me, but helpful for y'all. But yeah, as June started to end, I started to realize that I need to start to reevaluate my friendships, my relationships with people. And not only where I feel like I haven't been showing up for other people, but where other people has not been showing up for me. But also, it starts with yourself. So when you're talking about boundaries and reevaluating relationships, reevaluate the relationship that you have with yourself, and also reevaluate the boundaries that you have with yourself. Because when you don't have healthy boundaries, other people will not respect that. Other people will see that you don't have boundaries, so therefore they will be habitual line steppers. They will cross that line each and every time because you're not going to say nothing about it, because you're not going to do nothing about it, right? But that comes with self-respect and trust. You have to trust yourself enough that you know what's right for you and you know what's in your best interest, especially when it comes to relationships, whether it's romantic or platonic. Not allowing people to disrespect you, not allowing people to talk to you any type of way, and really not allowing people to put you in very compromising situations, putting you around people, or just even allowing people to treat you a certain way, right? So it's about looking within first and then reevaluating those external relationships. So do you trust yourself enough? Do you practice self-love? And do you do anything that makes yourself happy? Your inner child, your like any type of like shadow work. And it doesn't have to be every day, but are you doing things that can help set up strong boundaries? And do you even know what boundaries are? If you don't, look up the definition of boundaries, or understand how you can put up boundaries for yourself. What type of boundaries and limitations that you have placed upon yourself. Because sometimes not all boundaries is good boundaries. Some unhealthy boundaries come from core beliefs. Like if you have a unhealthy boundary, that there's a boundary that let's say I have for myself, that I feel like a core belief is that that I'm always going to be working, that I need to be perfectionistic. I need to be working in order to have money, in order to have financial abundance. And that comes from a core belief of me seeing other people within my life really have to work to the bone in order to get a check. And sometimes I can see that some people are not happy. And I didn't want that for myself. But in fact, I ended up taking on those same exact traits. And I ended up being that way. Always feeling like I need to be on the go. I need to be doing something. I need to think of another plan so I won't fall on my ass. But that caused me to be very stressed out, and it gave me great anxiety. And it also caused me to have an unhealthy relationship with money. And so one of those unhealthy boundaries was that I need to keep working. I need to keep doing. I need to keep planning. And that if I don't plan enough, then I won't have a safety net. And that boundary that I set up is that don't cross this boundary to where you're not planning, that you're resting, that you're really taking time for yourself. Like that was a boundary that I put up for myself, and it came from a core belief that I don't have that safe, that security that I wish that I do have. So in order for me to have that security, I need to go work my ass off until I'm beyond tired and burnt out. And that's an unhealthy boundary. So in a lot of these boundaries that we do have for ourselves, we end up we have to reevaluate that. So I have to reevaluate my boundaries when it comes to money, when it comes to how I treat myself. So just reevaluating that. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. When it comes to boundaries, it's like boundaries are just not what we think it is, if that makes sense. I mean, some people, yes, it can just be plain and simple what a boundary is, but a lot of those boundaries that we have and that you will put in place in the future will come from core beliefs. They will come from sometimes a healthy place, sometimes an unhealed place. But at the end of the day, I think this is a good method for y'all to like have a calendar. And you can even change this, like, let's say at the end of the year, January 1st, you say, okay, now I'm going to start over with the new year with new intentions for the month. Like, what am I going to work on? And if you look at it, rational acceptance, intent, intuition, boundaries, all of them are connected, right? So in order to accept people for who they are, I also have to accept myself, right? Because a lot of what people are going to do is trigger you, and they're going to trigger a part of yourself that you may not like. You may not like self-controlling people because you don't like that within yourself, because there's an aspect or area in your life where you feel like you are over-controlling to the point where it may push people away from you, or to the point where you don't allow yourself to have fun or to do anything for yourself. So not only irrational acceptance works for accepting people for who they are, but also accepting you for who you are and accepting everything that comes with you and loving yourself to the fullest form. And then it goes into being intentional about it, being very intentional. So when you accept, who you are and your multidimensional self, you will be very intentional about how you moving forward. You're not going to allow people, places, things, even yourself, to compromise your energy, to compromise your intuition. And then when you go into protection, it's like you still need to stay protected at the end of the day. Still listen to your intuition, because it will not stray you in the wrong path, in the wrong direction. So protecting yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit from negative entities, but also from your own self limitations, will do you good. But then in order to do that, you have to reevaluate. We have to put up some boundaries. We have to do it a little bit better. So yeah, but this is what it looks like. Yeah, I do apologize for that I'm telling you, I'm not, as you can see, I'm kind of like sitting up a little bit. But okay, this is also a sign. I don't know why my camera quality looks like shit. This is also a sign to clear your sacred space, whether you have like a praying space or whatever whatever you got going on. Definitely clean your space, because we're getting into a time where we only got like 6 months left of the year. And damn, it's crazy because 2023 just started. But at the end of the day, definitely take some time to clear your space and set some intentions for this space. So this, for me to clean this, my new intentions are going to be about being intentional, about protection, and really about reevaluating the relationship that I have with myself. Because even though that you're on the journey of self-reflection, of self-love and fulfillment, you still have to get to a point in your journey where you still have to reevaluate, is this working for me? How well is this going that I put but this new belief system in place, like these new boundaries that I have for myself? Is it working out for me? Like what does it all entail when it comes to reevaluating? Does it make you feel good? How do you feel at this far in the year? Just reflect back on the last 6 months about everything that you've gone through, but also the people that you interacted with. So what were those interactions like? How did they make you feel? But how did you respond? Did you respond from a higher place? Did you respond from your intuition? Or did you react from your ego? Did you fall back into old behavior patterns? Did you fall back into self-limiting beliefs and core beliefs that no longer resonate with you? So okay, yeah, I'm finna get off. I'm shaking this camera to death, and it's crazy because this quality looks like shit. And I do have I think I have an iPhone 13 or something. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great night. Definitely, all peace, glory, and love to y'all. I'm sending y'all energetic hugs, and be safe.